Hello, welcome back to a continuation of my Inner Mongolia trip. I do have a previous video where I stayed in Khokhot for 24 hours, which is the capital of Inner Mongolia. And in this video, we are going to our friend's wedding. Unfortunately, this is the last video for now. Hopefully I can go back to Inner Mongolia because I loved it there. That was so fun. Business as usual after this video. Oh, also, there's gonna be like drinking in this. I don't usually drink. I'm not a fan of alcohol. It was very crucial to the experience. I think it traumatized me. I'd never want to get drunk again in my life. This is one of the main reasons, other than the taste of alcohol, that why I hate drinking. Anyway, so we drove over on Friday, and the day we drove in, there was a blizzard, and my friend actually took this video of the blizzard from his car because we were in like two separate cars. As we were pulling into the city, we saw this truck just completely off the road. It was crazy. We're so lucky that we made it there safe. After over 4 hours in the car, we made it.
My butt hurts.
I think I was feeling awkward, so I didn't record much. But basically, the first night we were there, so Friday night, we drank a lot. And we drank baijiu, which is really potent liquor. It tastes like drinking hand sanitizer, in my opinion. I feel like I'm disinfecting my body in the worst way possible when I'm drinking it. But the tradition they were telling us is that someone raises 3 cups and they drink 3, and then they go around the table and everyone else has to drink 2. And then it starts from the next person. The next person drinks 3, everyone drinks 2. So by the end, we drank like 15 shots, something like that. Which at some point, me and my new friend that I had made actually escaped and hid in one of the other rooms to try to avoid the drinking because I didn't want to. But I wanted to also respect their culture. So then we went in, we finished. That's the only reason why I would have drank that much. When in Rome, or when in Inner Mongolia in this case. I'm super drunk. No, I'm not. I'm just normal drunk, but I'm not used to being drunk ever because I don't like drinking alcohol. And now we're going to another bar. Mongolians are crazy, but I love them so much. I made a new friend. Yeah. I feel like the car is the main character.
I'm not, okay.
It's 3 a.m. The next morning, I didn't record the part where I spent hours trying to muster the strength to get out of bed. It's time to go to the ceremony. I hate everyone because I feel so sick right now. Except Sortu. It's not his fault. Let's go. After finally getting up, we made it down to the area where they're having the ceremony, and we first went into another room to have breakfast, which was basically milk tea and like lamb and some pastries and stuff. And then we got taken into the main room, which was so gorgeous, and proceeded to have more food. This is a common theme for the weekend. There was just non-stop food. I wish I could explain more in depth what was happening, but honestly, I didn't know either. I can only relay what I witnessed because there was a lot of different things happening on stage. And also random people were like handing us their babies to take photos together. And actually Mongolian weddings, as well as actually a lot of weddings in China, are actually split into 2 different events. Like an event for the groom side and an event for the bride's side. And the bride's ceremony had already happened like 2 weeks before, so this was just the groom side. All these people here are just for the groom's side of the family and the groom's friends and stuff like that. That's why we were there. And then they had this ceremony, which I think is like the main ceremony, where they go up to the groom's parents. And I don't really know how to explain what else, but I'll just show you. Oh my gosh, the bride and groom were just gorgeous. Like, I was in awe of all their clothing, and they even had like outfit changes. And then our friend was called up to sing a song for the bride and groom. And then they had this other thing where family members from the groom side of the family would come around with a tray of shots, and then everyone would take one and everyone would take a shot. However, I was not gonna let an ounce of alcohol through my mouth that day. Same with one of my friends. She was also not, like, she was even worse off than I was. So, Surtu, do not listen to this part. But we actually were, like, the shots that we're having at the table, we took the alcohol and poured it into a cup when they weren't looking, and then switched it out with water. And then when they came around with the shots, because they were bringing new shot glasses, what we did is we would pick it up and then set it down, pretend to wipe our hands, and then grab the shot glass that had water in it that we had put, and like sleight of hand replace it, because I was not going to drink that day if I did not want to be taken out in an ambulance. Here we had another round of shots brought by the groom's cousin and her husband. They're really cool. Actually, the husband is a professional Mongolian dancer, and he's performed internationally. Like, he told me he's performed in at least like 2 different cities in the US before. Such cool people. And then they had this ceremony once again. I can't really explain it in depth, unfortunately, but they divided up the goat and then had a ceremony with the goat meat. And here's the bride and groom looking so beautiful. I'm so happy for them. And then here's this tradition where they'll slice off a chunk of goat fat and then they put it into your hand, and then you kind of pop it into your mouth and you just swallow it. You're not supposed to chew it. After finishing the ceremony, we decided to go for a walk to kind of explore and also maybe burn off some of that food, because that was just endless eating. I'm so sad that I didn't get it on video, but since we're in such a small city, it's understandable that a lot of people here maybe have never seen foreigners. And while we were walking back to the hotel, a taxi stopped and these kids got out and they saw us and they were so excited. I'm so upset I didn't capture this because it was such a cute moment. One of the kids was literally jumping up and down and clapping when he saw us. It was so cute because they were like probably in like middle school or like late elementary school, and they were just so excited to see a group of foreigners wandering around their town. And then when we went back to the hotel, we had a little bit of a chance to rest a bit while waiting for the next event, which was KTV or karaoke. And this is the first time I've ever seen them cooking food inside the KTV room. They were cooking meat in front of us. Overall, it was just a really fun evening. And then the cousin's husband decided to give us a treat of some Mongolian dance, which was so cool. Like, this part where they're kind of like imitating birds literally gives me chills down my spine. Then on Sunday morning, most of the wedding was actually pretty much over. And since we were still in town for another day, the groom decided that we should come and stay at his house. So we checked out of the hotel, and our first stop was to go get some breakfast Or was it lunch? I don't remember. Brunch, I guess. I was devouring the potatoes out of this dish. It was so good. And then after that, we went over to his house, and I did not expect, though I should know better at this point, that when we got there, they would have more food and they were expecting us to eat. And then while they ran some errands, we figured out how to use their TV.
I do like this environment,
And then the least we could do after this wonderful treatment in hospitality over the weekend is make them a dinner. So a few of us headed over to the grocery store and we picked out a few things and prepared to make a dinner.
your tea.
I'm eating.
We ended up making like roast chicken and mashed potatoes and salad, plus all that extra food that was left over from earlier. And then the bride offered to let us try on like her headwear from the wedding. This is the worst angle of me, but I was too excited. So I look kind of dumb with it on, but that's okay. And then Guilherme showed us all up by looking great in the bridal wear. At least me and the bride can bond over having both of our significant others stolen away that night. I'm so tired. I had so much fun, but too much fun. And now I'm ready to go home tomorrow. Just gonna go to the train station like that. I like the meat.
Popcorn todos viados.
Bye.